The bus doors never opened. It was exactly 7:30 a.m. The streets were cold and misty. People rushed past, chasing time. But at a small neighborhood bus stop, an elderly woman stood all alone, a white cane in her hand, her face turned toward the stop sign. Her worn blue coat barely kept out the chill. She was blind, but she waited with hope. A bus approached, slowed, tapped the brakes. She raised her cane. The doors didn't open, and the bus drove off. No one turned to look. No eyes caught the silent signal of her raised cane. She was there, yet not there. She was invisible. That morning, Keanu Reeves was in the area for a documentary shoot. His car had broken down, so for the first time he decided to take public transit. As he neared the stop, he noticed the woman, her cane raised, her face calm, as if used to being passed by. Keanu approached her. "Good morning. Have you been waiting long?" She didn't turn, but her voice was steady. "Sometimes they stop, sometimes they don't. But I'm here every day. Maybe someone will stop." Keanu didn't understand. Why wouldn't they stop? He wondered. But then, in a whisper, the woman added, "I'm here, but they don't see me." That sentence echoed in Keanu's mind. The bus didn't stop because she was invisible, because she was old, because she carried a cane. That morning stopped being about filming. That morning became the day he witnessed a life nobody else saw. The next morning, Keanu returned to the same bus stop. Her name was Rosa. She stood in the same spot. Her cane rested on her knees, her face slightly tilted upward. The air was colder now. Keanu stood silently, a few steps back, watching. A bus approached. The cane rose again. Rosa turned her face toward the sound of the engine. Her wrinkled face tightened with quiet determination. The bus slowed. Keanu thought, finally he's stopping. But it didn't. It rolled past. No break, no pause, as if she never existed. Rosa's expression didn't change. She was used to this. No visible disappointment, no anger. Keanu stepped forward. "Can I ask, does this happen every day?" She nodded. "Some drivers see me, some don't. I'm slow. I have a cane. To them, I'm a delay." Keanu said nothing. His eyes filled, but he hid it well. Rosa went on. "All I ever wanted was for a door to stop in front of me, for someone to say, 'Please, ma'am, come in,' just once, to hear that voice." In that moment, Keanu understood. This wasn't just about a bus, this was about a life. A woman erased, unheard for years. And maybe someone had to finally stop. Keanu felt Rosa's story wasn't confined to that bus stop. He offered to get her some tea, but she politely shook her head. Instead, they walked a few blocks. Keanu asked questions. Rosa gave short but heavy answers. "I'm 81. I used to be a teacher. I lost my sight 20 years ago. My husband passed away. I never had children. My home is far, but this bus stop is my only window to the world." A weight settled on Keanu's chest. "I used to read books. Now people don't even hear my voice. When buses pass me by, I wonder if they think I don't exist." After a while, Rosa asked to return home. Keanu walked her there, but he couldn't shake the feeling in his gut. On the way back, only one thought echoed in his mind. No one knows this story, but they should. That night, Keanu posted a video on social media. It didn't show Rosa's face, just her voice and the sound of her cane. "Today I met a woman. She waits for a bus every day, but no one sees her. Because she's old, because she has a cane, because she's quiet. But silence shouldn't mean invisibility." The video went viral in hours. Thousands of comments, tens of thousands of shares. But the next morning, Rosa was still at the stop, and the bus still didn't stop. That day, Keanu made a decision. He wrote in bold black letters on a cardboard sign, "Every morning, someone might be invisible." And he sat next to Rosa. This time, it wasn't just a cane. There was a name, a face, a conscience standing with her. The next morning, a quiet ripple spread across the city. Social media was buzzing. News anchors leaned into their microphones. And on the front page of the morning paper, one photograph stood out. Keanu Reeves, sitting beside an elderly blind woman at a cold bus stop, holding a cardboard sign that read, See who's not seen. Hollywood star waits at bus stop to make one woman visible. When Rosa heard about it, she didn't cry. She didn't smile. She simply nodded and said softly, "Maybe today, someone will finally stop." Keanu stood beside her again. He didn't say a word, but his silence was heavy, deliberate, louder than the growl of the engines speeding past. Rosa, holding her cane with both hands, turned her face slightly to the direction of traffic. Hope lived in that subtle tilt of her chin. Minutes passed, then they heard it. The low hum of an approaching engine. The familiar tension of hope rising inside Rosa's chest. The bus slowed down. Tires hissed against the wet pavement. For the first time in days, the vehicle stopped. The doors opened with a soft mechanical sigh. The driver leaned out, eyes gentle. "Good morning, ma'am. We're not passing you by today." For a moment, Rosa didn't move. Then, with trembling fingers, she lowered her cane. Her foot touched the step, but what shook wasn't just the metal beneath her. It was everything inside her. Behind her, Keanu whispered, "This isn't just a door. It's a door to someone's life." She turned her head slightly, as if hearing those words, not just in her ears, but in her soul. That day, Rosa took her place on the bus. The driver didn't glance at his watch. The passengers shifted, making room. No one rushed her. No one stared. For the first time in a long time, she was not an inconvenience. She was a person. As the bus rolled on, the rhythm of the city changed, and the door chime, that ordinary overlooked sound, became something sacred. A city didn't just hear it. It listened. That day, Rosa's ride may have looked like any other bus journey, but everything felt different. The passengers were silent, respectful. The driver checked the mirror often. No one rushed. No one looked away. Because that morning, a community had finally learned how to see someone. The bus stopped in front of Rosa's home. Keanu offered to help, but she gently declined. "Today, I want to walk by myself, not because I know where I'm going, but because I finally know who's there." Keanu watched as she walked, alone but upright, steady with her cane. His eyes welled up. A week later, new posters were placed on every bus in the city. There could be a Rosa at any stop. It's everyone's duty to stop, to see, and to open the door. The Transit Authority launched citywide accessibility and awareness training for all drivers. Rosa's story spread to TV programs and online platforms. But Rosa herself stayed away from the spotlight. She still went out every morning at 7:30. Waiting at the same stop, only now she was never alone. Sometimes a young volunteer stood with her, sometimes another elder, because that bus stop had become a gathering place, a symbol of change. One morning, Keanu returned. Rosa turned to him and said, "One door opened, but a whole world walked through it." Keanu placed a hand over his heart, because he understood. Some struggles may be invisible, but if just one person chooses to see, the whole city learns how to walk forward. And that morning, a new sound echoed through every bus stop in the city. The sound of a door opening. Not just a door, but an apology. Not just a ride, but a reminder. And this story no longer belonged to Rosa alone. It became the voice of everyone who was never seen.